tutorial on 2 palettes in one. Very exciting. It's the Too Faced Natural Eye and Natural Face palettes. I've had the Natural Eye for a while, and I actually have another tutorial already on this if you're interested, but since I was doing the Natural Face, I thought I might just put them both together so you could see what like the entire look was like, and also show you my very favorite eye look with this palette. And then I'll also show you the Natural Face palette, which this is something that's a little more new to me. I actually was kind of experimenting with this on my sister-in-law the other day. We were getting ready to go wedding dress shopping with her, and so I used this on her, and this has your concealers, blushes, cream blushes, bronzer, and so it's kind of like once you get your foundation on, this is the rest of your face. So first off, everything else I used on my face was drugstore. I moisturized, and then I used my Rimmel Fix and Perfect Pro primer just all over my face, and then I used my Revlon PhotoReady foundation and just spread that all over. It's kind of a foundation that has a little bit of a glow to it. From there, I went to the concealer in this palette. This shade actually works really well for my skin. I could see this as being good for lighter skin too. If it's much darker skin, I don't think this palette would work as well for you. So that's kind of the downside, is that it comes in kind of one across the board kit here. But anyway, I used the concealer around my under eye area. I went around any other spots. If I had kind of sunspots or anything like that coming up, I went over those areas, around my nose as well. This is really a good coverage concealer. It's not too dry. It's got just the right amount of creaminess to it, and it goes on thin enough. Then I went to the Brighten step, which is just like a shade or two lighter than the concealer, and I just considered this to go around the areas where I just wanted a little extra brightening, so that might have been the innermost corners of my eyes. This is also something you could use to highlight in sort of a matte way around the face. You could go down the bridge of your nose with this, your chin. There is a cream highlight in here called Luminize, and it's kind of like a pearly, peachy colored highlight, and I just used this on my brow bones, and I also used it on top of my cheekbones. You can also go on your Cupid's bow area. That's just an example of the few of the places I used it. Staying with all the cream products, I went to the cream blush, which is beautiful. It's just a beautiful kind of dusty rose color. So I blended that into my cheeks. It blends super easily, so I was happy with that. I went to the Bronze Veil. Bronze Veil in this kit it's like your bronzer, but it's not as dark as Chocolate Soleil, which is matte and just, like I said, a little bit deeper. It is my favorite bronzer, and I kind of wish that they just put that in here, but Bronze Veil is maybe even a little more wearable for lighter skin tones. It has just the teeniest amount of shimmer in there, but that doesn't keep me from using this as a contour because you can't really see the shimmer that much. And finally, the Powder Blush, which is super pretty. This is like a peach blush with a little bit of sheen. I just put that kind of on the apples of my cheeks, and so this was something that I felt like worked for my skin tone and my coloring, but it also worked on a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl, which was my sister-in-law, Sarah. If there was one thing I could change about it, just for my personal preference, I would have put Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer in here, but I do realize for some lighter skin tones that might seem a little dark. So for the masses, this is probably the best configuration, but I was really pleasantly surprised with how well the concealer and the brightener worked. I think it's awesome that you get 2 different shades there. It's very convenient too for travel and just having a lot of products all in one there where the face is concerned. Moving on to the eyes, we're going to talk about a look that I said is my favorite. If you like the look of sort of neutral rose gold type colors, this is so good for that. One of my favorite shades in the kit is called Push Up, and that's the shade we're going to start with. Of course, I put on some primer first, and then I'm taking a small flat brush and I'm putting Push Up all over my lid, leaving a little space on the innermost corner, but basically all over the lid. Then I went to the lighter shade right next to that, which is Silk Teddy, which is kind of a light pink shimmer, and I used that right around the tear duct area. Then I went to Sexpresso, which is a dark, deep matte brown. And with that, what I'm doing here is a little different technique. It's something that I think can be really quick for getting that outer V, and really just no-brainer style. Take your small flat brush and just kind of pat this in the exact shape you want your outer V to take on. Patting it not only on the outer part of the lid, but also out a little bit into that V, a little bit up into the crease. Then take your fluffier brush and just buff out, not all over your eyelid, but just buff out around the edge of what you just did there, and you're gonna see it blend beautifully into the perfect outer V. So that's another easy kind of way to get that. Also with Sexpresso, you can take kind of a liner brush, or I like to use my Sonia Kashuk smudger brush, and bring that down on the lower lash line. Blend it right off the edge of what you were doing in the outer V, bring it down a little bit, and then just kind of buff it out. You know, don't go back for more product. Just take what you've got on your brush and keep kind of pulling it inward. Back to push up, and I used a technique that I often like to do, which is kind of sandwiching a color. So we put push up on the lid, we put the deeper shade in the crease, and then we're going back with push up, kind of to get that little halo effect right around the outer edge of the deep shade. Then I'm going to a matte color called Heaven, which is just your matte kind of cream, slightly off-white shade, and just put that up under the brow, so this way the impact of the shimmer is really on the lids. For my liner, I used Wet n Wild Mega Liner in the black shade. Just go from inner corner to outer corner. I thickened it a little bit towards the outside, but didn't do a big wing with this look. Then I took my Maybelline Master Drama eyeliner in Midnight Master. This is a black eyeliner. It is a great long-wearing pencil from the drugstore, and I just went around the outermost part of my lower lash line with that, kind of keeping it soft, a little bit smudgy. If you want to go over that again with your smudger brush and a little bit of dark shadow just to blend it all in. Then I'm going to curl my lashes, apply one of my favorite drugstore mascaras, which is Almay Get Up and Grow. So maybe go a couple coats with that. It's a little bit of a dry formula, really helps out sparse lashes. Then I'm going to take my Maybelline Lash Discovery, small brush, doesn't smudge, put a little bit of that on your lower lash line. To finish off the entire look, I wanted kind of a rosy neutral lip, so I used one of the Revlon Just Bitten Kissable Balm Stains in Honey. This is actually kind of a soft pink, and then I topped that off for a little more gloss. I used my Neutrogena MoistureShine gloss in Healthy Peach. So that's what's giving me the shimmer on top of this whole lip look. So I hope you guys like this tutorial. I am definitely a fan of both of these palettes. They really make me think bridal makeup. I mean, I just feel like these would be a fun gift, like for maybe even like a wedding shower, like maybe you give one and then a friend gives another to the bride, and then she's got like kind of a full-faced bridal type look to go on. In terms of the face palette, this is going to be the type of thing that maybe if you've already got your must-have concealers and your blushes and your bronzers that you know you love in your collection, you know, maybe you feel like, well, I don't really need that little palette. Maybe you're not really satisfied with your concealers and you would just like that total look in one palette. Maybe you travel a lot. I could see this as being beneficial for that. Again, the deeper skin tones are left out with this, which is not cool. I mean, you would want to have maybe a deeper version of this palette for people with darker skin, because these concealers are just going to be a little light. The bronzer would be a little light as well. But for light to medium skin, this works. Pleasantly pleased and surprised with the coverage of the concealers. I love the colors of the blushes. As far as the natural eye kit goes, I've already talked about this one before. If you're comparing this to the Naked palette, I think I've said before, I think there are a few more options in the Naked palette just in terms of what you're given, but I must say I love this push-up shade and I just like the look that I was able to create. I'm glad I have this palette because I really enjoy the different neutral looks you can get. You can get a totally matte look, or you've got, you know, your shimmery options. So I love it. I love the two together. I think they do complement each other, and they are meant to, as the back of the Natural Face palette says. Let me know if you have any video requests in the comments section, and have a great day. Bye.